ATV. No, Vince, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yes.
But I mean, after doing the Guinness Book of Longest Florida Shuffle, which was 2.5 years, $660,000, I was like trapped in there because when you get 5150, you have to do 90 days, and every time on the 88th day, I'd be, I'm getting out in 2 days, then the interventionalists would come in and you would just find any reason, but you've been rocking those same jeans for like 3 days now. Yeah, I'm not trying to get any pussy around here, I don't care. And they're like, what's bad hygiene? You're doing another 90 days in another place. So I was stuck there, and there was nothing I could do about it. But, I mean, when I got out, I reappreciated everything. I'm like, I'm in a convertible listening to music, and now I'm outside at Starbucks having a coffee with a pal. It's fucking great. When before, I took everything, took advantage of it. Sure. You know, I own a nightclub, so 10 years of that. I've seen every band, whether you're coming up or coming down, I'm going to get you. So you can tell me that Metallica is playing right over there and I have VIP all access. At that point in time, I would have been like, I don't care. Like, nothing impressed me anymore. Right. And now, you know, because of that, I'm just sitting in there like, man, I'm telling you, if you have any kind of alcohol problem or heroin problem or any kind of problem that you have, stick somebody in solitary confinement jail for 8 days, and I guarantee when you get out, you'll knock off whatever that problem is because
that shit sucks.
Well, I had a parole officer and I had a Twisted Tea open in the car in West Virginia, and I got my second DUI, so the parole officer says, let's come into the courthouse and talk about it.
And when you're just lost.
So I think that we're just talking about it. He locks me up, throws away the key, and my wife's like, where did he go? Oh, he's already in jail. I thought you said we're coming in to talk about it. So now I'm sitting in a room for 8 days because when you go into jail, everybody instantly recognizes me. They're like, yo, Bam Jones here, let me get Johnny Knoxville's number. What was it like fucking Jessica Simpson? Yo, you ever been to a P. Diddy party? They're like, you don't belong in here. You're going to put me in solitary confinement, which is basically you in a white room, 8 by 12, stuck with you, yourself, and I, and your thoughts. I think on the 4th day, it was my birthday, and this guy mopping, you know, knew that. So he slipped something on the door. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I grab it. I'm like, Withers English Toffee Caramel. I'm like,
oh, hell yeah.
Yes! It's the best fucking thing ever.
What a birthday.
No more mystery meat and plastic green meat. Man.
That'll do it, though. I mean, I don't know, 8 days would suck. To fuck 3 days would suck. So, yeah, I mean, and then like you said, like, all that's going to do is then put your brain back to, damn, I gotta quit taking all this shit for granted.
Yeah, it really breaks your
and
mind
you
down.
can see that with you,
For
like
8
how you
days
changed.
yeah, 8 days of me being in there, I'm like, I'm never doing this shit again.
Yeah.
And you know, with the 2.5 years of treatment, like, I'm like, when I get out, if I get out,
sure.
I'm gonna what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I want to fucking skate, but I can't skate because the doctor told me in 2013 my legs were like dry rotted rubber bands from alcohol abuse. Then he asked me to reach down and touch my toes, and I did, and my hamstring popped to the back of my ass, and I was out for a fucking year, which made me want to drink even more. So when I went and met my wife, she's like, I'm a stretch coach. Don't listen to that fucking doctor. I will stretch you an hour a day, and then within a month, you'll realize. Now my legs are like 100% again, and my passion is back with skating, and I wake up every day and look for a new spot.
It's super rad to watch because, like, when I first met you, that's like, you and Danny had been together a short, I won't say short time, but it was still kind of new, and it's just like watching you progress over these years with her, stretching you out, your skating, your mental, like everything. It's just so rad to watch because that's, you know, like, and it's not like people hate you, you know, we all have a past, but it was like, there he is, he's back.
Well, I realized that
we saved him, you know, or
you
she
don't
saved him.
need a therapist for therapy. Walking a dog could be therapy. Sitting by a lake and feeding ducks could be therapy. Well, skateboarding is my therapy, and it's my medication. It's like a trick a day keeps the sanity sane.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, because you're going to spend all that time focusing on that trick or whatever you're working on, and it doesn't even give your brain time to wander to be like, hey, I'm bored. Let's go grab a couple beers or a glass of wine, which then turns into beers, it turns into whatever.
And I know that once I do that, all bets are off if I schedule any activity with any friend.
Right.
I thought we were working out at high noon yesterday. Nope, I'm hungover and I ain't doing shit.
Exactly. It's too late for that shit.
Yeah, and you know, I don't miss it. I don't miss waking up hungover. I did that for like a decade. Just wake up throwing up, knowing that if I have another drink, I'd feel better, and I
And
would
then you
do
get
that.
into that cycle, the hair of the dog
Hell
cycle,
yeah.
and it's just
Yup.
a never-ending cycle.
And like something had to stop. I actually never prayed ever in my life, and I bought enough drugs to not want to wake up. So I got down on my knees and prayed for the first time ever. And I said, God, if I wake up tomorrow, fuck you, but you better deliver me the hottest eye candy with 8 cup tits and a tan pit bull and save me now. And then the next day I wake up, I'm like, shit, I'm alive. God damn it. So I go to the pool, I order a Bloody Mary, and I overhear, listen, I'm from 43 Sicilian and Irish, and I'm like, born in Jersey. I'm like, I'm born in Philly. I'm Sicilian Irish. I'm 43. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, who are you? I'm a stretch coach. I'm like, stretch coach. And then we talk. She's like, you know what? I really like you. Do you want to go walk my dog with me? I'm like, what kind of dog do you have? She's like, I have a tan pit bull. I'm like, thank you.
There it is. It's like the lights from the movies come down. Oh.
Yeah, totally.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's like with you were saying with the 88 days, I'm out, and then they're like, no, your britches are too dirty.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And then
yeah,
another
there's no
time,
money to cure.
Yeah, so 88 days the next time, I'm like, I'm getting out in 2 days. He goes, you threw that cigarette out in that bush. I'm like, yeah. He filmed it smoking like any cigarette would smoke. He's like, you could have lit the whole national forest on fire. I'm like,
fucking smoking the bear like
it's a
forest
bush,
on fire.
and the next tree is like 30 feet away. It's impossible.
Right.
Plus, it's not even on fire. It's smoking like cigarettes do.
But no, hey, they got to hit that insurance money, man.
Yeah.
They got to get that money. But that's neither here nor there. Fuck all that. You're past that. You're a better man because of it. We see it. Your fans for sure see it. The skating is fucking killer lately.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't already, follow his Instagram, dude. He's constantly, and Danny's as well. They're constantly posting skating and good clips. I mean, it's so fucking rad. What was it? I told you yesterday. I caught. What was it? The Nolly Cab 270N.
Oh yeah,
God,
that was
just
with the Red Bull.
some of that shit's like I'm watching you, and because you're what 45. 45. I'm 37. I'm like, dude, that hurts my ankles, and I'm younger than he is. So it's just rad to see it, man. I love it. I love it.
It's really crazy to see, like, you know, you watch like basketball games and soccer games, and like they totally twist their ankle and break it and stuff. It's like, have you seen Nigel Houston? He just slammed off at 20 stairs on a rail going backwards.
Yep.
And like that's how I'm used to people breaking their
Hurting
like
themselves,
kicking
yeah.
a ball. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I guess if you land wrong on anything, you could totally mess yourself
But
up.
as skaters, like our fails are way more savage.
Well, it's almost
especially
like-
my fast. When I fall, like
Yeah.
the ground cries. Like
Well,
I know the ground cries, dog. Like it's rough.
Well, if you don't skate at all and you try to drop in on just a 3-foot mini ramp, like you will eat mega shit.
100%.
You will whack your Dylan, you will fucking twist your arm, twist your ankle, anything.
My son, he's 15, and last summer we were on the skate park, and he came up and he said, "How do I make it go?" And I'm like, because he never was really into it. Well, then he called you from earlier from the skate park, and this one was dropping it. But a week into skating, he's like, "I think I'm ready to drop in." I said, "I don't think you are." I know it's not. You're not. And he goes, "I'm gonna do it." What do you do? Bam! Right into the fucking concrete. And I said. And as a 15-year-old, jumps right up. I think I'm gonna put some pads on, and does it again. And then after about 10 tries, he got it. But
I can
can't
say
do
this,
shit.
when we were filming CKY2K, we did this thing with the fat suits where we were doing skate tricks on it, and with that bubble wrap, and it was like size 55 pants, you feel invincible in those things because you are so padded up that you can basically try a switch 900 knowing that you're never going to get injured. And it's a very great way to learn tricks, believe it or not, as long as you have the time and energy to keep putting that fucking outfit on.
I have to swing by Home
Because
Depot.
it takes a while. It's a whole thing of bubble wrap that you have to tape and wrap and tape and wrap and tape.
Was that CKY or was it Jackass when you and Dunn had him on? You had to help him piss, or he had to help you piss.
That was that Jackass.
Was that Jackass? Yeah. But yeah, the sweaty fat fucks or whatever it was.
Yeah.
it's so rad. But yeah, guys, if you don't already, like I said, follow the Instagrams because they're always posting skate videos, and it's awesome. And I love it. As weird as this may sound, I kind of like watching the the time lapse of her stretching you out sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like slowing it down, like, oh, that would benefit me. Oh, you know, and I'm like just living vicariously through.
Well,
you know,
sometimes, I don't really have a tripod, so I'll just lean it up to that water bottle there and press it. So the only angle I had this one time was like total head on with my feet here, and I posted it already. I'm
I
like,
saw it.
if you slow-mo it like enough, you can see like a fucking ball hanging out.
I remember that. Because people were like lighting it up. They were like, dude, you should have checked this before you posted it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Well, and then there was the one like, I think you guys were
Thanks to
outside.
the beanbag shot.
Beanbag shot, got it. Gets it every time. But yeah, you guys were, I think, outside of an airport or something, and you had it was kind of like on the ground, aimed up, and people were just like giving you shit. And you're like, dude, I didn't have where to put the phone. Like, that's where it's at. Like, that's how we do it.
Somebody at the airport was walking by, he's like, recognized me from Jackass. He goes, hold up, ain't you that dude on that movie that got caught shoving that Corvette up in there? I'm like, got caught? Well, first of all, that's Ryan Dunn, but there was 9 cameras in front of him. He didn't get caught doing anything. No, you were that one who got caught shoving that cool little Corvette up in there. He was very aware that we were filming a bit with the 9 cameras around, and then another guy goes, black dude walks by with sunglasses at the Denver airport, double take, puts his glasses down, and goes, asshole. I'm like, me? What did I do to you? I'm like, wait a minute, do you mean Jackass? Yeah, I love that show.
That's what we got to do. We're just going to start our own called Asshole. Well, that was like, the car scene was hilarious because then at the end, like during the credits when we're watching you and Steve on the band talk about it, and you're like, Steve was like, my dad'd be disappointed, and you go, bro, you let a dude drink wine off of, or you drank wine off of another dude's ass crack. And he's like, you never saw that though. He knows about it now.
Yeah. The logic of certain things. For instance, Gina Lynn and Travis Knight are porn stars. They're my neighbors in Pennsylvania. And and Travis is with me in Pennsylvania, and Gina was calling. He's like, hold on, Gina's calling from Los Angeles. Hey baby, how's it going? Yeah, oh cool. Well, so what'd you do today? Oh, I had a threesome with these three dudes. Oh, cool. Did you film it? All right, cool. Did you get paid? All right, I'll pick you up at the airport. I'm like, what if she didn't film it, didn't get paid? Then she spoke G, dude. What? So as long as she films it and gets paid, she can go do anybody's
That's
work.
just business. That's good business.
The logic of porn stars. Then he's like, I called McCall. Hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, me and Gina are at the spa. I'm like, oh, cool. You guys getting couples massage? No, we're getting our assholes bleached. I'm like, why? He's like, you know, but they zoom in on that shit. Like, you choose.
I wonder if they get to write that off on their taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's work related, like it has to be.
Yeah. She said, yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
It's a tax write-off.
Yeah, dude, like laser removal, ass bleaching, you know, all the above, man. Oh shit. Well, you know, for those, I see we got some younger kids in here. Sorry, but for the little kids, you know, it's like you went pro, or you started
At 15, 16, I was
but
pro.
you started skating around what, like?
Oh,
12?
I was like 6.
Yeah, because it was a school bus. You were waiting on the school bus.
Yeah.
You saw that dude ollie over the sewer grate.
Yeah.
And he went pro at 16.
Yeah.
Was that with Nike first?
Toy Machine, then Nike, then
Then
Volcom. Yeah, it was the first one.
Because
ever
my
I was
favorite
Nike.
thing ever is the Nike shoes suck so bad to wear.
Yeah.
That you wore, what was it, S's?
I got SSLs and taped the Nike logo to it. But it
Were they actually like cut off the shoe, the swoosh?
Yeah, but it wasn't like they sucked too bad. It was just that they sent me a size too small. So for me to squeeze my feet into them, it was giving me like blisters when I would try a trick more than, you know, a couple times. So
Gotcha. Yeah, straight up cut the Nike swooshes out and put them on the goody S's that fit them. But yeah, and you know, and then what you created Landspeed you sold at Fairman's.
Yeah, so I wanted to do a video that was like professional skate tricks mixed with funny stuff because I had a lot of friends like Chris Rapp, Brandon DiCamillo, Ryan Dunn, all that who couldn't skate very well, but they were hilarious.
Sure.
So I wanted to film like, you know, funny skits, funny stunts mixed with skateboarding. And once I was like playing a rough cut at the house and my uncle came home who was like an auto mechanic and all of his auto mechanic buddies are there and they're sitting there laughing their ass off to this thing. I'm like, this thing might have a bigger audience than just skateboarders. I was making it for just skateboarders,
Sure.
but you know, once I saw them laughing, I knew that it could be a bigger thing than what it was, and it sold 1 million copies just through word of mouth. Never put out one ad whatsoever on anything.
That's so rad. See, kids, determination.
Now if you think, if you think, okay, when I'm 15 and I'm going through a Wendy's drive-thru asking for a large Coke only to say fire in the hole and throw it back at the lady, it's funny when you're an adolescent punk ass, but if I did that to the age of 45, people make band belongs in a mental institution. So it's very hard to determine. Yeah. Me kicking the door open when I'm 16, kicking my dad's ass when he's taking a million ass shit on the toilet, it's hilarious. But if I did it at 45, people would be like, man belongs in a mental institution. So,
Yeah, but maybe we can get Phoenix the Wolf to do it back to you.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
That'd be awesome.
That's what I get.
Yeah, it's just that cycle comes right back around to you.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things you can name every capital. Here's a fun fact.
Yeah.
You can name every capital of every
any country, any state.
Any state. So let's put that to test.
Papua.
Papua?
Papua.
You mean Papua New Guinea?
P-A-P-U-P-A-P-A-U. Not Papua New Guinea.
Is this new?
He just made that shit
I
up.
cheated. I asked AI to stump you on this one before I came.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, here's a really hard one because it's fucking tiny.
Yeah.
There's no one there, so.
I actually went on Letterman and they gave me a long list, and they were giving me hard ones like, Chad, Africa, N'Djamena, and then Burkina Faso, which is Ouagadougou, and then Bandar Seri Begawan is Brunei. They were giving me really tough ones, and then at the very last one, Edward Norton sitting next to me, and they said New Zealand, I said Wellington. He's like, nope, I think it's Auckland. I'm like, Auckland's the bigger city, but it's Wellington. And then Edward Norton goes, I just filmed a movie in Wellington. He's right, it is the capital. So it was gnarly to be under pressure, like on live television. Yeah. I was like, I cannot get stumped on this, but they were going for it. They were not being easy on these countries.
What got you doing that? Like, was there something that just kind of like started that, or?
There's a thing when I'm on airplanes, I just stare at like a Rand McNally map, and I just stare at it, and I just like to know where I'm going and what's going on. And once I realized that there was only like 20 countries that I didn't really know, sure. I just wrote the rest of the 20 on a shoebox, and I just put it in my car. Whenever I was at the stop sign, I would stare at it. So, because to say I can officially know I know all the countries in the world except 20, so quiz me. No, I know all the capitals now.
Yeah.
So I just wrote the last 20 on a shoebox and stared at it for 2 weeks.
That's so dope. Do you do that like with anything else, like memorization wise?
Well, I can tell you this, the way you memorize it is, you can do it as like music. Like, so if I say Sweet Child of Mine, you'd say it's Guns N' Roses. Right. I'd say Every Rose Has a Thorn. I'd say Poison. Round and Round, Rat. So when you say Singapore, I say Singapore. When you say Saudi Arabia, I say Riyadh. So I memorize it like that.
Okay,
so it could be a song to a...
And that makes sense though, yeah. That's so cool. Does anybody want to try to rattle one off?
Turkey is Ankara, it's not Istanbul. Djibouti is Djibouti.
Indiana.
Uzbekistan, Tashkent, Indiana, Indianapolis. Kentucky is Frankfurt, which is like the third biggest city. Because Louisville and what's the other one? Lexington is big.
Yeah.
And probably Bowling Green now.
All right, what else? Sri Lanka.
Trinidad and Tobago is Port of Spain.
Sri Lanka.
Vatican City is Vatican City. Sri Lanka is Colombo.
That's so dope. I love that. Does I'll kind of quit taking up all y'all's time. Who has questions for me? Yeah, we'll start here.
What was your favorite CKY to film?
Probably CKY 2K because when CKY 1 was such a big success, I now had a big, well, I wouldn't say big, I now had a budget to be able to buy things and wreck it and do fun things, but with CKY 1, I don't even think we had a couple thousand to spend. It was just, you film, me do dumb stuff, and then I'll edit it. So everything, it was pretty much, what was the budget? There wasn't one.
Yeah, just whatever you pull together.
So now that we actually had cash to spend on, it was a hell of a lot easier to do CKY 2K than the first one because, you know, even if something like, let's go to the woods with a bowling ball and bowling pins, even going to get the bowling pins, that was kind of a lot of money for us. It's like, you know, maybe we can find them at a flea market for $50. Oh, do I really want to spend $50 on this bit? What if it doesn't work? Like $50 is a lot of money.
Yeah. Because you got, how old were you for land speed?
So I was 16.
16, okay.
Which is crazy because I remember, like, we were really broke. I lived across the street from a sewer factory, and I was kind of busted on in school, known as like the sewer plant kid. And I remember we were going to lose our house if we didn't. We owed 40 grand on like a really shitty house, and I remember my parents were really stressing about it. And I could hear it through my bedroom door, so I was like trying to figure out a way. And when I first got sponsored by Nike, that was the first time I was getting $5,000 paychecks every month, which was really a lot.
Yeah.
And they talked me into fucking putting that shit in the bank and saving it when I really wish I would have just spent it. But I put every dollar into the bank and never even spent it, only to make $1 million a couple weeks or months later.
Right.
So, you know.
Was that the house that Don Vito ended
Yeah.
up that we saw on People Abandonment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was the one where Dunn smelled so bad he had to eat out on the street, and somebody threw a football or kicked him.
Well, he jumped into the sewer factory.
Yeah.
Which was gnarly because when you see it, there's like these spin wheels in the shit water.
Like turbines.
Like if you got your leg caught in there, it would either be gone or you would be stuck, or if it got cut and you would get shit crystals soaked into your wound, you'd be winding up with impetigo and fucking who knows what. Definitely some kind of staph infection.
Yeah, for sure.
And I got a staph infection more than once, and it is not fun. When I got the dick branded on my ass, they said because I kept jumping, it looked like a hologram dick. So they weren't going to use it in the movie because they wanted to be one solid branding of one dick. So I just wore the same pants for 10 days straight and let all this dirt collect and build up. I never put a bandage on it. I never put any ointment on it. And when it was time, I woke up with such a black, crusty, scabby thing. It was stuck to my pants, and I had to rip the pants off and
And then the pus.
so they said that it was like one of the gnarliest staph
Dick
infections.
pus on your ass?
Yeah, dick pus. Yeah, on my ass. It was very painful, and then I didn't learn my lesson because I was at the band Sublime's house, so they have this hot tub, and you need kind of a hazmat suit anyway to get in that thing, if you know what I mean. But I just got done getting a tattoo at their house, and I know that you're not supposed to jump in hot tubs, but I did anyway. And man, that thing was so infected. Danny Wade took me at 4 in the morning because I couldn't take the pain
Oh
anymore.
man, that's rough.
I don't learn.
We never did.
I'm not sure if you can talk about it. I got two things. One, the 2002 Tony Hawk skate tour. I heard something went down here at the skate park. Did you get hurt? I heard.
100%. So I flew in, and they told me that there was going to be like 10,000 people at this Tony Hawk thing, and I'm like, man, I never skated this place before. I'm just going to show up at midnight, cruise around, and feel the park, so I know what I'm going to do where, so I don't, so I do something cool in front of all these people. So I'm cruising around the big pool pipe, and I launch 13 feet to the top, and it's so dark, my back foot falls off, and I went boom to the ground, and I was like, and the lack of oxygen from having the wind knocked out on me, I felt like the ground was right here, so I'm touching, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm touching the ground, and I threw up everywhere. They took me to the children's hospital, which was an accident, but it saved my life because I guess it was a Friday night. There was a lot of people in the waiting room at the real one, so they wheeled me in from the children's hospital, only to find out that I had a ruptured, bleeding, punctured lung, and so discombobulated with my head from the lack of oxygen from knocking the wind out of me that they put me on a private jet for 20 grand from Louisville back to Pennsylvania. It was gnarly. She tore over for me.
The other one I have for you, I don't know if you can talk about. When did you find out you were going to be in the new Tony Hawk 3+4 arena?
I was gonna bring that
So,
up.
I fly to California once a month for about a week to visit my son Phoenix. He's 7 now, and I had like an extra day off, and I haven't talked to Tony Hawk in a while, and I was like, you know what? Should I call him up and just see what he's doing? And Danny's like, yeah. So I hit him up. He's like, yo, we're skating the vert ramp. Come on by. And usually he knows I don't skate vert, and he probably thinks that I haven't been skating at all because I took like a 10-year hiatus off to get all Larry the fuck up. So he thought I was just going to show up drunk or show up and say hi. But the fact that we wound up ollieing over each other on that gap, he called up Activision and said, Band's back, put him on the game. They're like, but the deadline already happened. He's like, I don't care, make a new deadline, you're putting him in the game. So because of that, if I wouldn't have called him and wouldn't have skated with him, I don't think it would have been that way.
Can we talk about what you're wearing in the game?
So I was going for the Elvis 68 comeback special with the full length. So I got a red shirt on with the full length jacket, full length pants. And if you even ever tried to skate in leather pants, you can't. But they just needed to stand there and scan me. And like, I've seen a lot of Hollywood shit, but this was the most high-tech thing I've ever seen. Like back when the Matrix happened and you go like that, there was only 32 cameras that could see this and that. They had 167 everywhere so they could scan you and you could do it anyway. It was really mind-boggling to see this contraption, which there was more than one of.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
First off, babe, like he said, it's super rad to see you back in a Tony Hawk video game. A couple things. One, what was it like to do the body scanning? Because I know back then the technology was vastly different.
Yeah.
And video games now have obviously gotten better. What was that like to have them do that kind of scan this time around?
I mean, all I really had to do was sit there for a little while, and there was all these flashy, like, strobe lights going off, the cameras kind of going everywhere just to scan me, so I didn't have to do much. The first time they had to track my style, which means I had to put on a spandex full-body outfit with all these, like, crystal balls attached to me, and I had to do a shitload of skate tricks so they could track my style. So that was the hard part, but that was way back on the first game or second. So the only thing I had to do this time was pick my outfit and sit in that crystal ball thing with 167 cameras in it.
And then, second, what are some of your favorite new places to shred at?
Well, I've been on like a 9-month road trip. I haven't been home to Castle Bam in about 9 months. So wherever I'm at, I find a park and I skate it. But I would say top best parks is fucking Evansville, Indiana.
Okay.
Not kidding.
Nice.
And then another one is Des Moines, Iowa, because it's the biggest ever. But Florida has a lot of good spots, like Sarasota has a really good concrete park, and then the skate park in Tampa is right there too. But, you know, you can always find Lot 11, that's a really good one in Miami. But anywhere with transitions, I'm going to find something to do there. So I'm a happy camper. I realize I could be anywhere on the planet as long as there's something nearby to skate, and then the dogs, and then the gym maybe. I could be anywhere.
Yeah, we've got, next time you're back up in Evansville, holler at me though, because there's one about 45 minutes away in Owensboro, Kentucky. It's just right across the bridge. And no one's ever there.
All right.
Yeah, we go, and we'll make a day out of it with the kids and picnic, because it'll just be us there.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty decent laid out park. There's, I mean, a nice street sesh. There's a couple of little transitions here and there. There's a bowl back in the back, but yeah,
Cool.
it's pretty dope.
All right.
Well, I'll take you down there if you guys come back up. I think it's Sawhand, yeah.
Yeah, like I say, I'm constantly on the road, so I'm always listening to new songs, old albums, new albums. But with the hymn stuff, I mean, I would say Your Sweet 666, Razor Blade Kiss. I mean, I like you can't play a hymn song that I wouldn't enjoy. But when it comes to new, I'll give you the top 3 new rock band or just bands that I've been listening to nonstop. When I can hear it over and over and over and over again, it doesn't get old, then I know that I really like it. So, a band called the Black Capes from Athens, Greece. They're really good. And then Amor Ad Lunam is from Puerto Rico. I've been working with them. And then Lacrimus Profunde from Austria, which is like, it's all like hymn sounding, but a little bit gother and darker and more distortion.
And that's one thing I've always liked about your style. Even, I mean, back through like with Ville Valo and Jackass. None of us would even know who him was if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
But the way you would promote bands and music that I'd never heard of, because you were one of those, like, if it's a good song or a good band, I'm gonna push it. Yeah. Like I learned about Turbo Negro and him and Clutch and all these, you know, because I was young at the time. And it's like, now that's what I like to do, is find bands no one's talking about. And you find some bangers out there.
Because what's crazy is if if you push anything on the radio and play it over and over again, it gets stuck in people's heads and they don't even know if they like it or hate it. They'll just find themselves singing it.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the song Achy Breaky Heart. They're fucking dancing to it. You should be crying. You should be like, your achy breaky heart, I feel so bad for you. No, don't tear my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think I don't understand. The fuck you jumping to this for? You should be crying. Listen to the words.
That's the most country emo song ever, because I mean, it's supposed to be a sad song, but they're all line dancing and shit. Yeah, or I mean, yeah, shit like that.
What
like,
does the fox say?
off the wall nonsense, but you're right. It's been programmed in our brain that you sing along with it, and you, like you said, you don't know if you like
not to
it.
knock on Gwen Stefani, but it's bananas, B. Singing fucking.
Hold up, that's still how I spell
5-year-olds how
banana.
to spell banana.
When I'm texting somebody, I'm like B-A-N-A-N-A-S. You gotta throw it in there a little bit.
Really well thought out.
Hey, it helped dummies like us learn to spell, all right?
I mean, I listen to music that delivers a message. That's why I have anathema tattooed on my neck. You listen to those words, it is like very like poetic, serious shit. You know, you listen to any kind of pop song, you pick a Justin Timberlake song, I want to jump, 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 and dance, dance, dance. That's your big message. You want me to listen to 5 minutes of how you want to jump and dance. Boring. I need to hear, like, knowledge notes.
And see, like, the poetic part of it. And, like, I will say, like, Ville Valo is one of the most poetic people. And because I think it was when you got the episode where you got your jukebox and you were playing 666.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is the greatest song to play, or I bought this to play the song. Well, of course, then that's where I kind of learned who they were. And I went back and started listening to the earlier stuff, and it's just like, it's so smooth and poetic, like the way it just delivers and the message gets across. And Funeral Parts is still one of my top hymn songs.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's not like that. You don't get that really anymore.
And it's what's crazy, you know, if you're in a rock and roll band and you gotta really spend time to write some serious lyrics, rap is so catchy, and as long as the beat's dope, you can say, the hook can be, I got a fresh pair of Nikes, and that'll be the hook. Yeah, I got some crazy fly gold, crazy fly guppy gold, and that'll be the hook.
I mean, T-Pain rhymed the word mansion with Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Like, I mean, it doesn't take shit to do that.
Yeah. But goddamn, it's catchy though.
Yeah.
And now,
We dig it.
picture like, all right, a Post Malone song, be a rock star, cocaine on the table, and I don't give a damn. If this was a rock song, they would never play it on the radio. Cocaine on the table, and I don't give a damn.
Exactly.
They'd be like, we can't play this. WAP,
It's-
WAP,
it's the
Cardi
delivery.
B's WAP. You know what WAP ass push swap. Try doing that with a rock song. Yeah, I went to the party and again I went there. No,
The fucking best part though is like when we're like 80 in a nursing home or some shit, and we just bust out and sing a wet ass pussy. Like that's gonna be like, and there's gonna be something like it's just gonna be wild. And the old people are just dancing, and
Man,
we get sick.
when you think, like, if we even make it to 2083, everything has been said, everything has been done. You've said it all, especially rap. Yeah, roll to the club with my champagne rain and my badass bitch with my Lambo. You said it all.
Yeah.
You said it all. Or you can switch up. Yeah, roll up with my Lambo, champagne rain with my badass bitch. You said it
That's the
all.
remix.
It's all been said. You said it all. And then rock bands, I've been down this lonely road 100 billion times once again. Yes, hell. Says yes, hell.
With the right beat, it'll go platinum. What, we got another question?
The craziest one I've seen was on ridiculousness, where you were talking about broken tailbones.
Yeah.
And falling asleep on the guy next to you. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy.
So,
story.
yeah, I'm on a first class flight from Tampa to Philly, and I'm like, sitting there like this, I'm like, I'm not gay, I swear, I got a broken tailbone, and you're just gonna have to deal with it, because there's nothing I can do except sit like this. It's horrible.
You know,
And broken ribs are terrible too, because if you cough, you feel like you're breaking it. If you sneeze, you basically are re-breaking it. And God forbid you play me a romantic comedy, it's torture. You're like, oh. You can't put a cast on it. I mean, you can ice it, but it doesn't do much, but there's nothing you can really do.
What's your favorite romantic comedy?
We actually just watched one. I can't remember the name, but yeah, Brokeback Mountain. I can't really think of one off the.
The Notebook.
Well, they filmed that at Angel Oak Tree in
Angel-
South
yeah.
Carolina. I love that.
Wasn't that where they, oh no, Righteous Gemstones did theirs in South
Yeah.
in Charleston, but I don't know if they did that at the Oak Tree or not.
Well, I'll be seeing him, Danny McBride, on the 4th of July because I'll be in Charleston. And I actually drove in the Rough House, his production company signed up a skate deck, so you know.
Rad. Go ahead.
I actually do got one last question. I won't bug you no more. When you got that from the township, you guys got kicked out, remember, on the dam? Was that the same township you have Castle Bam in, or was that a different?
That was a different township,
Oh,
but
okay, I
man,
didn't know.
when I moved to Castle Bam, I really screwed up because they had a welcome to the neighborhood party with a cake and everything, and I didn't show up at all. I had Slayer play instead until 2 in the morning with all these college kids throwing fucking, pizza wrappers and whatever everywhere. So that was my intro to Pecasset Township, and they still hate me to this day because of it. And I don't really blame them. And anytime I come up with any kind of idea, they shut it down and they follow a new rule. No more upside down cars in the driveway. No more Civil War reenactments. No more zip lines to lesbian. If I came up with anything, what's Bam doing over there now? He's having a vegan lesbian wrestling match. No more vegan. No more wrestling match.
It's like I spent all this money for all this acreage and these motherfuckers are still all right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But your mom and dad still live in the old house, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, I don't know how this works. Did you get fined or was it just like?
Yeah, you're not allowed to have elephants in the front yard, and you're not allowed to make a drawbridge anymore with the boat.
No moats, no drawbridges, no elephants with Compton-ass Terry rolling through.
Yeah.
That's
But
wild.
what's funny, listen to this. So I had this, when Instagram happened, I had this 2-day-old idea. Everybody come to Castle Bam, we're having a big party, everybody's gonna skate, I'm gonna have B.D. Siegel playing with Freeway and fucking Valiant Thor. So way more people showed up than I ever imagined. And the township could not shut this down because they couldn't file a new rule yet because it takes a week to register, and this shit's happening in 2 days, so they didn't know how to handle it. But the next time I tried to do it, they finally got a new rule in that you can't have an event, you can't sell tickets, and you can't have more than however many people on your property anymore. So the very next day, I have all these all 30 dogs going whoop, 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 with 20 horses, shotguns, and these flutes. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? They're like, oh, it's the fox hunting event. I'm like, event? Okay, so you just shut me down for having an event. I looked up on the internet. You sell tickets to an event called the fox hunting, and you're trespassing through my gated fucking property, killing a fox, which is my spirit animal. And they go, well, this has been grandfathered in for years. Oh, so you guys get to do whatever event you want, but when Bam wants to have any kind of event, you shut it down. Well, it's been grandfathered in. Well, grandfather this.
I'm gonna have some homies skate in my skate park, but no, I can't have it. Go out there and kill some foxes though, that's totally fine, totally cool. Yeah, it's kinda like,
I did more research, and this is what's even more fucked up. They don't actually kill the fox. They're like old men playing guns. They're just old men playing war.
just play, that's what say playing war.
Oh, there's a fox. Well, you gonna kill it? No, we're just playing fun fox war. You get all these dogs to hunt down foxes, and you have the gun and the horse, but you don't do anything. You guys are just playing war. How old are you? The fuck?
It was like a sport fucking is what it is.
Yeah, so like, when you guys went to, I think it was one of the episodes,
Guys are 70 years old playing guns.
playing guns. When you guys went to, I think it was in the show, you guys went to the Groundhog Day event for Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah.
Was that legit when the cops came up and were like, dude,
Yeah.
you guys need to chill out and don't start any shit? And you guys weren't even doing anything wrong.
No,
you were just up there waiting for the groundhog shit.
I think they were really bummed that, like, you know, that's their moment to shine. They're just like congressmen, people in Punxsutawney. So, yeah, we're the man. We bring out Punxsutawney, and they're like, why is everybody running over there? Why is everybody taking photos? Oh, Bam Margera from MTV's here. He's filming an MTV show. So no one gave a flying fuck about that, and I totally stole their thunder away from them.
That makes it even better then. All right, any more questions, comments?
If you could relive one day at Castle Bam, what would it be?
Indiana Sam and Gary shitting in each other's ass. I was in treatment. I had to see via email.
We'll get you a freshie. I'm working it up right now.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So of all the glorious times you pranked your mom and dad,
Yeah.
what was the one they still will never let you live down of all the ones?
Believe it or not, Bill and Abe have always been a good sport about everything.
Yeah.
There's only one time where Phil was so mad and set him off. I don't know what mood he was in, but I said, all I need you to do is say, I'm Johnny Knoxville, welcome to Jackass, and you're not going to do anything. I'm like, nope. He's like, you promise you're not going to do anything? I'm like, promise. All I need, he's like, fine. Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, welcome to Jackass. And I grabbed these little thing of bananas, and I just went, whap. And he's like, don't complete the fucking joke, fucking done. I'm like, yo, I painted you blue.
Yeah, that's
with the whole
that's
kitchen.
out of
I
everything.
beat your
That's
ass
what's
when you're taking a shit on the toilet. I have put fireworks in your car. I put
your
fireworks
bedroom.
in your bedroom. I've had an alligator in the kitchen, and you get mad for some fucking bananas.
Turned the whole house into a skate park, but the bananas. Hey, that's like Gwen Stefani shit. It's her fault. You started that fucking song.
Yeah.
No, one of the craziest one I remember you talking about is the girl that was sleeping in your treehouse.
Yeah.
I was nuts.
So there I am. It's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm sleeping, and I feel some kissing on my neck, and I think it's the girl. I'm like, babe, we'll get to that in the morning. I'm fucking tired. Then I look, I see she's sleeping this way, so I'm like, what the fuck? I see the silhouette of this naked chick, and I'm like, what? So I turn the light on. Now she's on the ground. And she goes, she's playing with her. So she's like, the owl sent me from Jupiter. I'm like, right. Wow. 911. So she's trying to get her out of there, asking where her clothes are. She can't answer the question. She's saying weird shit like, my parents have been in goats and trailers and we're meant to be together. Things like that. So finally, the police show up. They're at the gate. There's 8 of them. And all the sirens are on. So they see the gate open. She's naked and she sees the cops and she goes, oh shit, she does a naked cartwheel and then runs into the woods. I'm like, what the fuck? What's the cartwheel? Did that gain you speed? I don't get it. But they looked for her for 7 hours to the point where I'm like, I give up, I'm going to the bar. And I go back, they checked the Treetop Casino 3 times. Finally on the 3rd time, they lifted up like 12 blankets. She was hiding underneath there. And when they looked around, they saw so many whittle carvings with like a wood in, like she was right on. She was living in there for like 3 or more months, and I know that now because if only you was staying at my house, and I'm like, yo, did you eat my last night's of pizza? It's okay if you did. I just want to know because it's not here anymore. And you're like, dude, I swear I didn't. I'm like, well, I believe you, but if you didn't eat it, who did? When the gate opens, I don't need to lock my doors because everything's gated. So she would be in the treetop here. They go beep, 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 beep. She would run into the house, eat whatever she could, and then go back. So now it all makes sense. Here's the most fucked up part. 2 weeks later, when they found her, there was such a torrential downpour that the treetop fell and crushed onto the ramp. She would have been deader than shit. And I probably would have smelled a dead body or something and be like, what the fuck, who's that? And then
Did you like have a bonfire with all the wood afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, you would have been smelling her roasted.
But I mean, if she didn't come in naked and start kissing me at 11 in the morning, like what did you think was gonna happen? Yeah. I got another girl here, like, oh cool, another girl, threesome time. No, it's
cool
not gonna
with it,
work
yeah.
out like that. But if she didn't come in there and do that, she was continuing to live there without my knowledge, because I don't go up there. It's fucking, I have 14 acres, and the pure woods, I barely go in unless I'm riding a 4-wheeler through it. So, the fact that she did that probably saved her life, because she would have been crushed in that fucking storm.
Absolutely.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if anybody's got anything else, now's the time. Oh, what's that? Purple.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I am, and you know, here's 2 reasons why. Because when you're filming with Jackass, you're never safe. even when it's lunchtime on a Hollywood set, that's when you should be able to relax, eat your lunch. No, that's when a fucking macaroni and cheese bomb's gonna blow up in your face. So like, you're always on edge and you know that it's coming, but I remember now when I was about 5 years old, I was climbing through this little tunnel underneath the highway, and there was like a little bit of water in there. When I made it in the middle of the tunnel, it was so dark. I just remember seeing this dark snake like jump at me, and I popped my head, and it was the first time I was like gushing blood, and I thought I was gonna die, so I ran back to my parents. Woo, snake bit me, whatever. So I just really have PTSD from that.
Snake bit me on the back of the head.
Yeah. Well, it never bit me. I just jumped when you pop my head against the cement and just being in that dark tunnel that you have to now back up from.
Because as a kid, you're running in your brain, that motherfucker's right behind you, still coming after you, and it wasn't. It was probably back there. It was more scared than you were, probably.
Right.
Yeah, one more.
When you were the Cobra on the movie, when you had that little area you like jumped through, did you hurt yourself?
No.
It looked like you smoked your face on the top of it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Because when you climbed through, right when your body went to, like your weight came down, your head snapped up, and it looked like you smoked your head on the. I could, that one hurt me.
Yeah.